Love that clip, Frank. We're going to get to Veep in just a minute, but I want to talk about the article you wrote this week. And I know it's focused on the hand-wringing by Democrats over the loss, but also journalists. And I wonder, is the takeaway to anyone who reads that article that you think journalists have already done enough apologizing, or perhaps too much?
Yes, I think that's exactly right. This self-flagellation has really gotten out of control. Look, everyone missed the Trump juggernaut, including, I might add, the Republican Party, whose establishment thought he could never win, and conservative members of the media, conservative columnists who all thought he could never get the nomination. The fact is also Hillary Clinton did win the popular vote by 3 million people and lost the Electoral College by fewer than 78,000 votes in 3 states in aggregate. So enough already is sort of my feeling. Democrats have a lot of problems. Liberal media, the media has a lot of problems. Look at all the data journalism that showed that Clinton was going to win in a landslide. But this sense that they didn't know what was going on in white working class America, I think, is wildly overstated. And now it's become a fetish where there's so much, so many human interest stories about the same people that soon, it's become a cottage industry, really.
Well, and that was where I wanted to go next, is that you see the media sort of moving en masse to middle America now to show that it is connected. And in an effort, I guess, trying not to tell stories that originate out of Los Angeles or New York, trying to show that they are connected. Are we now then missing what's actually taking place in Washington?
I don't think we're missing it because, first of all, what's going on in Washington is so intense. It's like standing under a fire hose. And I do feel the coverage of it is really good, particularly given an administration that is trying to shut the press out, that I can say lies with impunity. And I feel that the media, the news media, have been energized by the election result. And it's not a zero-sum game. They can cover rural America, whatever they want to cover, but I think they're actually doing a terrific job in beefing up D.C. coverage in this incredible time in the history of this country.
Well, that's one of the questions we've been asking people over these past many weeks. Do you think that the news media as a whole has gotten its mojo back?
Yeah, and by the way, I would say one thing in defense of the news media prior to the election. There was a lot of good investigative reporting about Donald Trump, Trump University. The Russian story started to break. So it wasn't as if the media was asleep. It's just the self-flagellation since the election has made it seem it's almost an excuse for the things that they really screwed up, which is like, for instance, polling and, the upshot column in the New York Times, which till practically the morning of Election Day showed that Clinton was going to win by, I don't know, odds of 85 or 90%. It's sort of a good way to say, oh, it's just that we didn't cover people in the Rust Belt. That was the only problem. That was not the big problem. And in fact, some things the media did quite well.
So let's talk about Veep, which is a terrific show. And you've got a sort of group of people behind me here who love it. But right. Satire, if satire is the extreme expression of something in order to make a point, how do you manage satire at a time when virtually everything that we're seeing is so over the top? Is there room left for satire?
Well, yes, that's true. And it's very hard to do explicit satire of Trump, although some people have succeeded, particularly Saturday Night Live with Alec Baldwin has done a pretty brilliant job, I think, and it sort of rejuvenated them. What helped us in Veep is that we never, ever reference real politicians. We've never referenced Trump or Obama or Clinton. We never reference anyone past Ronald Reagan. We never even identify the character of its political party because the thesis of the show, which I totally agree with having grown up in Washington, is essentially it's always crazy, nothing ever changes, and it's always over the top. How our new season, which is up in a few weeks, will be received, we have no idea. We were fortunate by sheer luck that last season we had a crazy election, that season that aired last spring, that probably could not have topped 2016 if we'd shown it this season. But that's done, and we actually our heroine, if that's what she is, Selena Meyer, is now a ex-president in private life in New York, And Washington still figures in Veep in this season without giving anything away, but we're hoping we capture a mood that's timeless, even under Trump, in our own craziness. We didn't change a line of the show, which was halfway being shot anyway as the election happened.
Well, we're looking forward to watching it, and thanks for taking time to talk to us today.
Great talking with you.